All right, welcome everybody. It's Sean Waters in the Wisdom Workshop studio. Here with my desk and my amplifier that has nothing plugged into it, and my golden reverend guitar that is not being played, and my skateboard that I am not riding, with some glasses that actually aren't for prescription, they're just a fancy prop. But nonetheless, I'm here amongst all this real but kind of fake stuff with some very real questions. This is, in fact, the anonymous question jar that I've been filling with questions from my real students at Colorado State University, and I'm inviting your questions on here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So let's play a fun game. Let's take out a real anonymous question. This one, okay, that a student has written. Let's see what it says. It says, is water wet? I'm going to go yes. And given that my name is Sean Waters, I'm going to say that I'm wet. It's terrible. Let's do another one. Is this one? Let's do this one. From our anonymous question jar. How did you become such an interesting person? Other than schooling, how do you enhance your learning knowledge day to day? Oh, well, thank you. I love this question so much that I'm going to be taking some time to answer it. How do you become an interesting person? You get interested in other people. Your interesting quotient is the function that you are interested in other people. The more interested you are in, say, the neurobiology of frogs, the more interesting you are, I would say. When you are interested in things, you become an interesting person. Thank you for joining us. If you're just here, I am answering questions from the question jar, experimenting with TikTok Live. If you have, can you all say? Can you chat in here? Can I see you say anything on this live? Is there a chat in here? Am I just trying to answer questions here? Other than schooling, how do you enhance your learning day to day? Freaking love this question. I honestly think music or other arts and crafts. Schooling is pretty unreliable to enhance knowledge. It might fill you up with a bunch of information that you actually don't need. And I'm being sarcastic. I think you experiment. You go play. We underestimate the power that play has to help us learn. Okay, let's do another one. I like that one. Let's shake these up. This is the anonymous question jar. What do we have here? In your opinion, do you like the academic or the social aspect more in college? I think this is a question gauged to other college students. I don't know about this one. I think for me, it's all of it. It's about finding topics. Welcome. I'm gonna go social. I think the social is more. Let's draw another random question from one of my real life students at Colorado State University and answer it at random. Let's see what it says. It says, question for Sean. When I feel stuck in my writing, what should I do to recalibrate and clear my head? I guess I take a walk. Walking is probably the best thing we can do for ourselves. Do something other than also, you got to clear out. You got to do something physical. I think walking is the best one. If you're stuck, just leave and come back to it. Let's do another random question. This chat is telling me to share. If you like this programming, share this. Say that hey, there's this dude answering random questions in front of a PA that's not plugged in and a guitar on the wall that he's not playing. How do you find love and meaningful relationships in this digital age? I know. Get the fuck off of your phone. Oh, can I swear on here? No. Sorry. Pardon me. That's tough. It's a tough one. We could go on for this. It's relatively easy to find someone to love. it's a lot more difficult to find someone to love you. So I'd say if you can be comfortable with the reality that maybe you're going to be giving more love than receiving, particularly if you can provide or enrich, nourish someone else, that's how I would find love. It's not like love comes to you or like I found someone that's loving me. I'm finding an opportunity of someone that I can love, which means that I love them in their difficult, I love them in their imperfections and their not face filters and all of the things that our culture doesn't really glorify. Let's see if anyone's asking any questions in the chat. All right, no questions in the chat. All right, here we go. We are still playing this question and asking random questions. Those are both really good ones. These questions is a giant jar of questions from multiple classes that I teach at Colorado State University. And I am playing with, let's see, drawing these at random and answering them in real time. I actually grabbed 3 of them. Why have humans forgot their nature and connection to nature? I don't know. Hey, TikTok Live? No, our economy? I don't know. There's a lot of things. Why does our society value masculinity so much more than femininity? Oh, that's interesting. I'm working on a piece on masculinity and manhood and what it means to be a good man, partially because this is interesting. This is a tough one to answer. In some ways, our culture values femininity more than masculinity, our culture, and in other ways, it values masculinity over femininity. Strength, things that we prioritize, we see like we want to be independent and we want to be strong, we want to be powerful, and we associate those characteristics with men and masculinity. But I don't think that's actually, I don't know, this is tough. This is a tough thing to say. I think there's strength and dependency in, and I don't want to say that dependency is a oh boy, this is impossible to answer. Why does our society value masculinity so much more than femininity? Because it's not smart. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to do that one. That's a tough one. Okay, here's a good one. If you're just joining us, I am answering questions at random. These are real student questions. I have no idea what questions are going to come up. Last one made me feel a little uncomfortable. Let's see. Is happiness, or at least contentment, a choice? Love, question mark. I don't know what do you think happiness is a choice? Do you think happiness is a choice? I don't think so. I think yes and no. This is a tough one. Is happiness a choice? In some way it's got to be, and in other ways no way. Also, don't know if trying to get happy is I don't know if we can choose that. I don't really think we can. Do you think the world is really extra shitty right now? Or is that just the perception the growing influence of media has created? It's a great question. Is the world really extra shitty right now? By some measures, no, the world is better than it ever has been. We live longer, we're less sick, we have more access to security and XYZ. And when I say we, I mean the majority of us in the developed world. In another way, if you look at the world is more toxified. The world is full of psychological warfare at a level that I don't think enough people are paying attention to. We have multiple people waging psychological war on each other in a very confusing, fucked up way. So in that way, yes, we are now seeing all of the shittiness, the cobalt mines, and the injustice, and the just the really fucked up repercussions of late stage capitalism. We're seeing all of that, and we're embedded in this new sphere where multiple actors are waging nuclear level intellectual warfare to confuse the shit out of us. And in other ways, man, things are good. This is a tough one. This is a tough question. Where we're after that. Let's do one more. Yeah, let's do one more. Let's see. I'm having fun enough to keep doing this. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It's a real question asked by one of my students at Colorado State University. It's random. I have no idea what this question is going to be. It is, how can universities bridge the gap of communication that was created by COVID-19? I freaking love that question. And I really believe we need to get people together in spaces, and they can be virtual spaces. This doesn't need to be in real life, but we need to get people together on screen where we're looking at each other's eyes and hearing each other's voices more and actually listening. Can universities bridge the gap of communication? Universities can sponsor, it's called third spaces, not work, not school, like a skate park or a bowling alley or a hacky sack frickin' circle, something that people are together, connected in a way that has nothing to do with work and nothing to do with school. That's how universities can bridge the communication gap post-COVID-19. They can put people together in a way that they wouldn't otherwise be there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am answering random questions from the question jar. This one says, this one's just relevant to my college students. Are you all living the college experience? College experience? Have you all met Cam the Ram? Any secret tips? Any secret tips? Anyone have a secret tip out there? I got one. Peripheral vision. If you can expand and focus on your peripheral vision, which is hard to do if you're looking at a phone, and hard to do if I'm recording this, but actually, if I can be aware of this phone, but also be aware of my peripheral vision, that changes the way your brain functions. Now, if I go on a walk and that peripheral vision is changing all the time, that's some powerful medicine for our brains, because we like to explore and see new things, which is why we like this kind of a thing. Oh, it might not be good for us. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do another one. This is how many we've done so far. My name is Sean Waters. I'm not sure that I know any of you. I am in Colorado. I teach composition at Colorado State University, and I've got this giant jar of questions that students have asked in a random anonymous question game. If you have a random anonymous question for me, I would love to share my unsolicited advice on your question. And here's this next one. How would Fort Collins be different if cars were banned from Old Town? I don't think people care about that one. But I do think we need less auto-centric civil engineering. There's a great YouTube channel called Not Just Bikes. If you're interested in civil engineering, that's not just about cars, which is what ours are. Let's see if anyone has any. No questions. Welcome, Blueprint Voice. That's a legit name, Blueprint Voice. That's legit. And I'm still figuring out how this worked. This is my first live session. If you'd like to give me gifts, or I don't know how this works. All right, here we go. Why are we, Gen Z, expected to do so much more? Holy shit. This question from a Gen Z student, why are we, Gen Z, expected to do so much more than our parents and generations prior? I don't know if that's true. Is Gen Z expected to do more? Or does it seem like... This is interesting. We could look at the cost of living in America, and just by the standard of what it takes to own property in this country and develop financial security, millennials and Gen Z is in a much tougher spot than previous generations. Scott Galloway just did a great TED Talk on this, on how we should change our financial structure if we do actually care about young people. Basically, our taxation and financial system in the United States prioritizes older people at the expense of younger people. So younger people are paying into the wealth that older people already have. If you watch Scott Galloway's recent TED Talk, if you want to see that. At the same time, though, something about this question is interesting. Why are we expected to do so much more than our parents and generations prior? I'm still not sure that's true. I think it might feel like we're being asked to do more, especially if you include our parents' generation did not maintain an Instagram account. Our parents' generation did not maintain a TikTok account. Our parents' generation were not encouraged to be a creator or a product, content creator, content provider. This just wasn't in there. They were just doing, I think my wife's dad worked for the railroad. Dude worked 60-hour weeks, did not see his family very much. He was asked to work a lot more, and people of our parents' generation worked hard, especially if you're a woman competing in a lot of male-dominated industries. You worked your ass off. So I wonder if this is Gen Z expected to work more than the parents' generation, or does it just feel like Gen Z is expected to work more because our standards and reference points have shifted? I'm tempted to think it's the latter, honestly. Awesome. Welcome back to this. I hope you're getting something out of this. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and throw them in the chat. And Blueprint Voice, you keep on coming in here, making me think, maybe we should just, let's see. Who is Blueprint Voice and where is she from? What's going on? Why do I keep seeing her name? Is there some synchronicity? Should we be connecting for some reason somehow? Just keep on seeing that you joined over and over again. Blueprint Voice. No, that's not what this one says. This one says, some of my students are apparently on psychedelics. This student asks, why do trees look like blood vessels? I don't know. I don't know why trees look like blood vessels. I really don't. Well, we'll leave that in there. Let's see another question. This is a question jar. My name's Sean Waters. I teach composition at Colorado State University. Started the Wisdom Workshop to empower people to learn themselves. So to not rely on institutions to give them the tools they need to continue their educational journey. This is my educational journey. This is a bunch of these. Let's take this back one. So these are real questions from real college students at an American university, Colorado State University in Fort Collins, Colorado. They're all anonymous questions. And I have a whole jar of them that I've been keeping, the ones that I like. Here's one. Do you enjoy discussion posts? I'm going to call this, don't need to answer that one. How much will public skills be taken into account for the presentation? Will nervous speakers fail? No, they will not. And interesting, how many of these questions that students ask when I prompt them, and I thought I only kept the ones that would be relevant for this audience, but maybe I collected other of those. We in our educational system want to do things correctly, and we measure whether or not how well we did the thing correctly. And then you get into the real world and there is no correctly. It's actually very ambiguous whether I go here or whether I go here, how I structure my days or how there isn't like a standard of correctness. So I would say it's not about whether or not you meet the expectations of the professor when you give your presentation. It's about whether or not you got something out of the process of developing the presentation that nobody else did. So don't worry about getting an A on the presentation. Worry about approaching the presentation in a way that is most interesting or developmentally significant for you. And if the teacher doesn't like what you did, fuck them. They have no idea of the process that you went through. You do your thing. You get the most out of it that you can. And if the professor or the teacher thinks it's good, then good. If not, okay, you still did something that you can feel proud about. And that skill of creating something that you actually feel good about, that you did on your own, that is more significant than meeting the expectations or standards of some teacher that's probably indoctrinated in some bull. Okay, I got a little side. Next question randomly from one of my undergrad students. If you were to move out of the U.S., where would you go and why? Well, I like this. I'd probably go to mountains, Canada, to ski more. And I think Canadians are chill. I like being in Canada. I like the kind of environmental consciousness. What's up, John Albert? Thank you. Thanks for the likes. Apparently, if you like, it attracts viewers. Lets the algorithm know that this isn't a complete waste of your time, which I'm wondering if it is. I'd go Canada. Probably, just because it's close. And I like to ski and maybe play music. What's up, Shannon? You're welcome to come on live and ask a question in person. It's probably weird, but I just want to let you know that you're welcome if you want to come say hi, and I'd like to meet you. What is your most controversial idea? That's a tough one. I'm going to say my most controversial idea is, I think we're going to be seeing the mental health crisis that we're seeing we're at the beginning of it, and it's just going to continue to get worse. I don't think our brains are built for this kind of information processing. I think we do much better in a peripheral vision when we could go through the world at a slow pace. Just think, when you are throughout entire of human evolutionary history, we've adapted to an environment that's roughly the same, right? Imagine if you were outside pre any of this technology, living in a small group of 90 people, what your day-to-day life would be. It would, by these standards and by how fast I'm talking, be very slow. There would not be a lot of new things that would happen. The flowers that open would take a long time to open. Weather that would come in would take a long time to come in. All these things would be happening really slow, and we're tuned to notice, oh shit, when something happens really fast. There's something moving over there. I gotta move. I gotta react. So now this fast thing that happens, now I need to react to that. So that's how our nervous system was built. All slow. Something fast, oh, I better react. Now we're in the exact opposite of that. All fast, all this information happening at us. Oh, should I go here? And then I'm not reacting to any of it. I'm like, oh, I like that. Oh, I'm going to save that. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, what's that? But in reality, I'm just sitting here with not my peripheral vision engaged, not moving anything. I'm just sitting here. So we've gone from an evolutionary standpoint where everything was slow, and if something fast happened, we were ready to react fast, to a situation where everything's fast and we don't react to any of it. Really. I think this is incredibly dangerous for our minds and for how we are. This is why we're not allowing our daughter, just as 2 and 3 months. I do not allow her any video content where things edit, where it changes. You put like one of those things in front of her and she's like, whoa, everything's happening so fast. That's right. That's not, and it's like, give me more of that, because we love it when things happen. It's new, it's exciting. I think you create a situation where people are spending a ton of time doing that every day, and it's incredibly damaging to our overall neurological, nervous system, mental health. So it's a long answer. What's my most controversial idea? I think the attention economy, the TikTok, Instagram, socials, the flat screen, and all of this, combined with some other thinking about mental health, which is, propped up by big pharma and the kind of diagnostic medical, all of that together, we're in a tough, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough 20 years from here, mental health wise, which is one of the reasons why I'm on the Wisdom Workshop. So hopefully create containers, spaces where people can interact with each other, kind of decompress from the blah, 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 into a more like chill, chill. If you have any questions, I'm here answering random questions from students. These are real questions, real students. You know, this is like the handwriting of this one. Maybe it's kind of fun to see the handwriting. I don't know whose questions these are. They're all anonymous. So I guess you really don't have the ability to be anonymous. I'm also inviting people, if you want to come on and just say hi, get to know me, get to know you. I don't know. Kind of a weird thing, but we're doing. All right, here's the next question from a real student at Colorado State University. Random, what's this say? It says, how many people have seen a psychologist or sought help for mental illness? That's crazy. Did you guys notice that synchronicity? That was nuts. That's what I was just talking about. I went through a series on cognitive behavioral therapy with a younger therapist. It was younger than me, actually. I liked him. I thought he was good. And it was cool because he was able to teach me. I was curious about how he was doing what he was doing. And I was glad. I was glad for that. Yeah, big advocate of therapy, for sure. Also, a lot of caution here. It's tough. It's tough to find people you resonate with. Feeling like someone has your back and that someone is just being in a conversation with someone where they don't judge you is incredibly therapeutic. It's sad that we have to oftentimes pay a therapist to talk without being judged, because therapists are trained to not judge people. So I wish, our friends were more capable of listening without judgment. Some of us are lucky enough to have friends like that can hold us accountable to high standards of character, but also don't judge us when we fuck up, or get in our heads too much. So I wonder, I do think getting professional help is always a good idea. Actually, no, I'm not sure that that's true. I think we want to be careful about who we trust as the authority on what our health is. And too often, it's easy, particularly if we're talking about minors, to prescribe minors things that they may not need. I don't know. This is clearly borderline a waste of your time to listen to me riff on random questions from college students. But maybe you'll get to know me a little bit more. Maybe it's maybe you can give me a gift, or I don't know, watch me tune up my face. I don't know. No, I'm not gonna do that. I am gonna invite. Hey, what's up? What's up, Mama Hill? What's up, Mama Hill 8? Random question from my big jar of questions. We're doing pretty good. I'm gonna try to move through these a little quicker. Question: how does the average person? Come on, that's a good one. How does the average person accurately gauge the way in which they are improving their moral goodness day to day? Okay, if you are concerned about improving your moral goodness day to day, that's awesome. Good for you. I don't know. Hi, Ralph. I don't know how. I would. What really matters to you? So I would write down what really matters to you, not just in like these abstract ideas, but what you do that matters to you. So like doing the dishes might not matter to me, but expressing care for the people I'm around does. So doing the dishes is a way to care for them. If I could find a way to actually measure and quantify, like give myself a report at the end of a day to be like, how well did I live according to my values? What did I do that was good and not so good? Or just do the Ben Franklin thing. At the end of the day, what good did I actually do today? Then in the morning, you could ask, what good might I do today? I know, I could get on a TikTok live, answer random questions to experiment and get kind of back in the swing of being on camera and hopefully providing value for people. But then at the end of the day, I could be like, you know what? That TikTok live really didn't. I probably could have just been vacuuming or done some other episode. I think you just gotta be consistent, almost like measure yourself by the same thing. Welcome, Deborah Townley. If you have a question for me of any kind, I'm going to invite you on and see. If you would like to join and ask your question, I will do my best to answer it. Let's do another one from my jar of questions. Give them a good shake. Oh, wait, I already drew one. Okay, let's see. What's this one say? Where have you traveled? India is a big one. That was a life-changing trip. I went when I was 26. 18 days comparative religious studies tour. So I'd say India, Canada, Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, and then train pass through the Europe, the Italy, the Spain, the France, the Austria, the Netherlands a little bit. A little bit of that. You know what? I think we may be. Let's see if we have any comments here. Nope. And we've been going for 31 minutes. It's amazing. Welcome, Jess Marie. And here we go. Well, that was too many questions. This will be the last one. This is a fun little experiment. Here we go. Random question from the random question jar. All right, so my name is Sean Waters. I am a teacher at Colorado State University and a musician and artist. And these are questions from a real group of students from multiple semesters. And I'm drawing them at random to see what they say. This one says, how do you deal with people at work? How do you have the patience to work with someone who's difficult to work with? Yeah, it's tough. I think for me, non-judgmental awareness is the way to go. And there's also some equanimity practice. Equanimity is like being okay with things going well or poorly. So if I have equanimity practice, when things don't go the way I want them to, I see that as the same as when things go the way I want them to, which is interesting because it's just a way of not adding pain onto pain. So I'm working with someone that's a prick or is insensitive. I could hope, welcome Carmel, I could hope that they wouldn't, they wouldn't be a prick, but that might be just a waste of my energy. I might just be like, okay, one way of saying this and is like, okay, the universe wants me to be in a situation where I work with a prick. So I'm just going to see that as like, yay, all right, this is my opportunity to work with someone that I don't want to work with. That's how I normally see these situations. When things don't really, it's not just about making lemonade out of lemons. It's about training ourselves to look for what might be good about the situation. Now, clearly, if you're being abused or just people, not being treated well in that way, I think standing up for yourself and being like, I won't actually tolerate this kind of behavior. And that's how I would. Yeah, and patience is just let them do their thing. Let them do their thing. You do your thing. Okay, we'll do one more. So it looks like hanging out with someone, imagining that we're hanging out together, which is awesome and maybe dangerous. Here we go. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received? I'm gonna go best piece of advice I've ever received. Stay out of the ditch. From my father. Stay out of the ditch. That is the best piece of advice I've ever received. Okay, thank you everybody for this experiment. Has been good, and apparently I haven't gotten any diamonds. I don't know how that works, but I'm just gonna pretend that yeah, if you'd like to join my team, Oh, Lucinda. What's up, Lucinda? I am experimenting by reading random questions from students. Lucinda was one of my students at Colorado State University. I wonder if I could reach in here and... Lucinda, was this your question? That would be wild. Do you think the benefits of social media outweigh the negative effects? I'm gonna say no. No, I don't. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't. Not on the whole, no. I don't think the attention economy is good for us. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good. Why am I on TikTok live then? Fuck you doing? Pardon my French. I think can obviously be good. And to feel connected, to play, to serve other people, I hope. You know, it's good to see Lucinda's profile come up here to remember that real human, that these are like real people here. Real kind, good people. That's what I hope. I hope to use this platform, what's up, Mr. Wednesday, to become a day of the week myself. Someday, I'd like to become Mr. Sunday. But until that happens, I will be making live videos and in hopes that I will reach some milestone. No, that's not true. I'm just playing around. I've got some time this summer, redoing the garage, making some more space for creatives, and this was an experiment to do that. If you'd like to reach out to me, send me a nudge or a hi. That would be awesome. And I hope you all are well. More information about the upcoming real live wisdom workshops are coming up. If you want to tap into that, follow the Substack. Yes, Lucinda, and it does look like that's the first. Awesome. Thank you for that comment. And it's awesome to see you as well. Made my day. I feel like I can call that a win, to connect with a real person on here. And we'll maybe play this question asking game again. So this was, if you're just joining us, this is a giant stack of questions. We're going to put the questions back in the question jar for next time. And hope you had a good time. This has been Sean Waters reporting live from my studio garage. See you later, everybody.